So here's something very interesting. In that simulation we just saw, I've created a new plot, and the plot is the absolute amount of force in newtons being produced by this long head of the biceps brachii. It's the muscle that's lighting up in red over here on the right, and it's the same muscle we activated with that neural excitation signal in the last video. So I'm just running the same simulation again, and I'm plotting the amount of force the muscle produces. So let's take a look at what's going on right here. Obviously, when the muscle is turned off, it's not producing very much force. The reason, by the way, it's not producing zero force is because of the passive properties of muscle. So that muscle is stretched out a little bit, and so those passive forces are contributing to some degree to the force that biceps muscle is producing. So not surprisingly, when the muscle turns on, which is right now, not surprisingly, that force produced spikes up. But then something interesting happens. Notice how out here from about half a second to 0.6 seconds, muscle activation is all the way at 100%, but the force is actually much lower. In fact, it's only about, 200 newtons compared to up here. It was the maximum force is about 500 newtons. A rough conversion, by the way, newtons to pounds, you can just divide it by 4. So at about 0.35 seconds, this peak right here, this long head of the biceps is producing about 100 pounds of force. So we'll start with this mystery. Why is it that even when the muscle is fully activated, say right now, that force production is less than half of what the maximum force production during this motion is? This is going to have something to do with why the motion of the forearm doesn't really seem to be following our intuitions. It's actually moving more slowly when the muscle is more activated and faster when the muscle's less activated. So I'll let this play through a few more times, and let me see if there's anything else. I guess the other obvious thing to notice is when the excitation signal turns off right here at about 2/3 of the way through the simulation. That will happen right now. You notice that the muscle force production goes down, not super surprising. And as that peters out, the muscle force goes back down close to zero, but again, not entirely zero because of that passive tension relationship. So we'll watch this go through one more time, and then in the next video, we'll start to explore why we might be seeing this relationship.